everyone, it's Toby. Welcome to the first ever Real Time with Toby podcast. Today I've got a very special guest, Dan the Man. How's it going, Dan?
Doing fantastic, thanks Toby.
That is very, very good, and that makes me very happy. Now the overview for today, we're going to be talking about Isle of Dogs, Pacific Rim 2 Uprising, and Avengers Infinity War. Are you excited, Dan?
I'm very excited.
Good, it sounds like it. Now, first up, Isle of Dogs. What did you think of it? 3, 2, 1, go.
Beautiful. No, I actually thought it was very beautiful. From the very first shot, I could tell that every single scene was going to be meticulously handcrafted, and so much love was poured into each and every shot. And I think it didn't retract from the story as much as everyone said it would, but I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Well, Dan, it looks like I'm going to be that everyone, because I thought the filmmaking and the craftsmanship was amazing, but I thought the story wasn't as good as it could have been. It was interesting that it tried to tackle some darker themes like suicide, but it definitely felt way too similar to Fantastic Mr. Fox. And I don't know, I was just a bit disappointed with the story. Around the middle, it had a bit of a wacky pacing, and by the end of it, it was okay. But the craftsmanship, the animation, the sets, incredible. Story, not so.
I'll admit the middle point, I did get bored, or slightly, I wouldn't say bored. I got slightly distracted nearing the end of the movie. I was like, alright, this is starting to drag on a little bit. But I think that they introduced so much at the start, they had to have a longer movie, which kind of made it, well, it probably wasn't actually that long, but it made that the ending seem so much longer because there was so much build up to that. Like with the school chick that I can't remember her name, or if she even had a name, the foreign student, introducing her was essential for the plot, but then at the end it just kind of dragged on, and with all the scientists and all that, it was necessary, but it kind of lost my interest a little bit.
Did you think they tried to cram in a bit too much?
Yeah, I'd say it looks like a kid's story, but it's not really a kid's story.
No.
And I don't know how long the runtime was, but it started to drag on near the end, which kind of pushed me a bit away from being as immersed as I was, even with how beautiful the sets and everything were. It started to stop. The eye candy wore off, and I started to keep thinking, I was like, this is going to end soon, surely.
Yeah, for sure. What would you think is the better film, Fantastic Mr. Fox or Isle of Dogs?
It's been so long since I've seen Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Well, let me answer it for you. Fantastic Mr. Fox is the better film. I find Fantastic Mr. Fox more original. Anyway, I give that film a 7 out of 10. What about you, Dan?
I was going to give it a 7.5 out of 10.
Well, you're always trying to be a bit better than me, aren't you?
And I will succeed.
Talking about things that didn't succeed, Pacific Rim 2 Uprising, directed by Stephen S. DeKnight, starring John Boyega, Scott Eastwood, and some other actors who played extremely forgettable characters. What did you think of the film, Dan?
I honestly could not remember much of it, except for the ending, when you told me we were talking about this on this podcast, so that probably says a lot.
Yep. Terrible, unfunny. CGI looked better in the original. I liked the original because it was entertaining, and it was just it gave the audience everything the audience wanted. This film gave me nothing that I wanted. It was just...
Well, I wanted a sequel, so they gave me that much.
They gave you the sequel that no one... Look.
No one wanted but
What
me.
was the start of that? It was a silly,
Well, I don't even remember the start.
It was a silly montage of John Boyega's character, showing that he's absolutely off the chains.
Oh, that's right.
Wow, he's drinking a bottle. There are days where people just drink a bottle of alcohol for the hell of it. I don't know. It wasn't that.
Yeah, it was a weak start.
And Scott Eastwood is such a beautiful looking dude. He looks exactly like Clint Eastwood, yet he doesn't act anything like him. Scott Eastwood is so bad at acting, it makes me disappointed that Clint Eastwood just couldn't, help him or something. He needs better roles for a starter. Every role is a typical teenage film where he plays the good-looking, muscled-up dude, and it's just, it's terrible. And the pacing in the film is wacky as well. The timing made no sense. 1 minute they're here, and literally 30 seconds later on the other side of the country. Tell me about that, Dan. What is going on?
I can't even remember those scenes. That's how forgettable this movie is. But I do agree with you on most points there.
Yeah.
The fighting as well, in like just the fighting of the not kaiju Jaegers. They just did not seem realistic. In the first one, they had weight to the punches. Like in the fight in Tokyo, where it was the Blue Pacific. Wow, I'm bad with names today. Blue. What is it?
The American one?
No,
the Australian
the
one?
nuclear one.
The nuclear one?
Gypsy Danger. There we go. When Gypsy Danger was fighting the one like toad-looking kaiju.
Yep.
The punches had weight, and you could feel them, and
Yep.
they had like interesting cinematography, like when it was following the punch into on the
Yep.
face. This one didn't have anything, and the fights were pretty damn forgettable.
There was no substance to this film, and I think if I would rather watch a PlayStation 2 cutscene or Pacific Rim 2, you couldn't even tell the difference. They had the same type of dialogue, the same graphics, the same everything. Way too cheesy, this film, and I'm not looking for any sequels anytime soon. I couldn't give two tosses about this franchise anymore. What about you, Dan?
I'm pretty sad. I doubt if they do another one, it's just going to be beating a dead horse even deader. But the ending though. Oh man.
What even happened in the end?
They just rammed a Jaeger into the kaiju. That was it. It was like you had a big missile or big piece of metal hit a kaiju that didn't die when you blew it up, and it killed it. How was that? How?
You know, I think the biggest mistake for that movie is that they didn't bring back they didn't bring back Del Toro. G. Del Toro. That's the biggest mistake. I don't know who this Stephen S. DeKnight is, but I think he shouldn't make a film in a long time. I give this film
Ouch.
I give this film a 3 out of 10 anyway. What about you, Dan?
Alright, I was giving it 5 or 6, but that's because I don't remember much of it.
Forgettable. So forgettable. Anyway, finally, now the big one, Avengers Infinity War, directed by the Russo brothers, starring every movie star from the past 10 years. Dan, tell me what you think.
That's because every movie star is made a movie star because of Avengers.
That is true. That was what I was trying to go for.
This movie, I think, had a great payoff for a build-up. I was getting very sick of the like cookie cutter standalone movies.
Formulaic storylines.
Yeah, like Black Panther, other ones. Like it was getting kind of stale, and the Avengers were always sort of a mashup of all the other. Like it was a payoff basically. Every Avengers is always a payoff. And I think this one did a very good job in actually being a bigger payoff.
Yeah.
Bringing everyone together. And the ending, the deaths, we're spoiling this, are we? I hope we are. Spoiler alert. The deaths at the end, to me, and even with Gamora, weren't that impacting.
Mm.
And I think that, I don't know if that's just because I'm a heartless person, or because, like...
It's because you're a heartless person.
I could just tell they weren't really dead.
Yeah. I mean, we've had the future films confirmed already by Marvel, so I think one or two things. They shouldn't have said that more sequels are coming, or I'm also thinking deep down the biggest like publicity stunt ever that they're saying there's going to be future movies, but they're not actually going to do them, which I doubt.
That would be cruel.
Black Panther brought in $1 billion. I don't know. What other ones? Spider-Man. Like, everyone loves Spider-Man.
Gee, Mr. Stark.
Don't let me go.
I don't feel so good.
I don't feel good. He improvised that scene.
Did he?
Yes, he did. I saw that online somewhere.
Bundle of knowledge, you.
Yes, you can thank Reddit for that one. Shout out to Reddit. I think this film had like a giant task to do, and I wasn't disappointed. And I thought the visuals were really good, and 95% of the time the CGI was fantastic. There was like maybe 2 shots where I was
better than Uprising.
Yes, better than Uprising for sure. And the performances by Josh Brolin and Tom Holland were standouts for me. Like most of them were good anyway, but Josh Brolin as Thanos was like incredible.
Yeah, his CGI was amazing. Like seeing all the muscles on his face. when he like clenched his jaw, you could see all the muscles in his jaw
Yeah.
tensing up.
And like
that
the
was
little bit of hair, facial hair on his face, and I agree. I thought it was fantastic. Whoever did the CGI for his face alone, props
deserves
to
an
you.
Oscar.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know. That brings up the question: do you think this film is gonna be nominated for Oscars? Definitely CGI, but like anything else? Hang on. Did they still have an Oscar for like best ensemble cast? I know they did for The Big Short, but I couldn't even remember that nomination, that award last year.
I don't even know most of the nominations. Best story I'd take would be one, which definitely would not win.
No.
I think there's definitely more unique stories out there, especially when you're kind of stealing from not stealing, but adapting from comic books.
Yeah, exactly. I think Logan has a better story, and I think that's going to be Marvel's best written film for a very long time.
No, they got Deadpool.
Yeah, but you got like Deadpool and then you got like Logan. They're like opposite on the spectrum. Did you get sad during the film?
No.
Well, you are heartless then.
Yeah, well, I just like even Gamora.
Yeah.
I felt like I should be feeling something, and I just wasn't. Like that entire scene, it was like, yeah, she'll die, but
I was too busy getting over Red Skull, so. But no, I felt sad, and like the whole part with Spider-Man at the end. Spider-Man
was the one that I felt closest to feeling sad for. But none of them I was just like, damn, they're never coming back. It's not like there's another movie coming out with all of them. I think that's just my heartlessness, though.
I think we could talk on and on and on and on and on about theories and whether or not these characters are living or are dead or where they are. But we're not going to go on for too long because, you know.
What was your greatest gripe in the movie? Or a gripe you had in the movie? Because no movie's perfect.
No.
But there has to be.
I feel like there is, but I feel... I can't answer that right now.
Alright, I'll hit you with mine.
Yeah.
Thor and his hammer. I mean, his Stormbreaker.
Yeah.
Alright, you know a dude's got a gauntlet.
Yeah.
You know he's got all the power in the world in his fist, and you throw a hammer at his chest. Why?
He is a god.
Yeah, and he didn't become a god till he got the bloody hammer, because before then he was useless.
Powers. Look.
That got me so annoyed. It's like, you have time to throw an axe hammer thing into his chest, push it into his chest, and don't even look to see, like, he's literally wiped out the entire Avengers except for him. And he's like, I'll just throw it in his chest. What could go wrong? Push it in a little bit. That'll make him feel bad.
I'll one-up you on the questions here. At the start of the film, we see the Asgardians in an absolute muck on that ship from the end of Thor Ragnarok.
You mean dead.
My question is, where is Korg? Okay?
I was waiting for that.
He's one of my favourite characters of the MCU. Where is he? Is he okay?
Hashtag bring back Korg.
The thing is, I've seen on recent articles that Valkyrie is still alive. The Russo brothers said that she's still alive, but they're making no comment on Korg. Which gets me nervous, alright? It gets me nervous.
Yeah. I think that should be a question for... I can't even say his name. Taika
Waititi.
That was close.
New Zealand director, fantastic. Go watch his other films like Hunt for the Wilder People and Boy.
Oh boy.
What would you give the film out of 10?
I gave it an 8.5.
Wow, okay. You know why? So I was actually really hyped for this film. After I came out of it, I was still super hyped. And I gave it a 9 out of 10. But after I kind of settled down, it went a bit below 9 and quite a bit below. And I also give it an 8.5.
Oh. Quite a bit below, hey? 0.5 points.
It's a big difference. But no, definitely... No higher than a 9, but then you were asking, like, what are the flaws? I couldn't even tell you. It just felt right to say 8.5. Is it the best Marvel film you've ever seen?
Ooh. Are we excluding Logan and Deadpool?
No, I mean, others? Like, I'm talking about every Marvel film ever.
Ooh, that's a tough one. I think in its pool it is, probably.
Yeah.
I think Logan is sort of different in who it's marketed towards and who it delivers to. But I would say yes, it's been the culmination of so many years for for Marvel and for everyone watching. So I
Yeah.
think it's been a good payoff. I think the next one, if they don't screw it up, will be better than Infinity War.
Yeah, it's because of this hype train. It's too good.
It's just slowly, well, not slowly, just increasing ever so much.
Mm-hmm. And best Marvel villain, do you reckon Thanos takes that?
Yeah.
I do. I think he was so daunting every time he was on screen, and I felt unsafe.
I'm trying to think of other ones.
Well, I think
Like other
Loki was the biggest one.
Yeah, Loki
He's
was
the one
charismatic.
That is a word, yes.
Yes.
That
I
is
was
the
going to say
word.
charisma.
He was charisma,
Yeah, he
yeah.
was very likable as a character, but I think Thanos is very unlikable. Well, he's likably unlikable. Like
Yeah.
he's a likable villain, as opposed to, well, Loki was also a likable villain, but in a different way. How much more can I butcher this for you?
I don't know. What did you think of the soundtrack? They didn't use the Avengers theme until, I don't know, it was kind of at the start, but they only used it once, and that got me real sad, because the Avengers theme is probably the best song in the Marvel universe.
Did they use the Avengers theme when they were fighting Thanos at the end? Was that when it happened?
I think so. And I'm pretty sure it was, like, slowed down as well.
Yeah, I think it was, because all the shots were kind of in slow-mo as well. I don't... See, the issue with
Shall
Marvel...
we watch it again?
Oh, might as well.
Yeah,
I
alright.
feel like I should have at this point.
I've been holding it off. Same with holding off this review, because, like, one, I don't know how to think of it. Like, there was so much going on, and
Yeah.
in the first 5 minutes, it was like, damn, we're not playing around. And
The beginning did throw me a curveball. I was
Yeah.
like, that's all of Asgard. Cool. All right, we're going that way with this movie.
yeah,
That's, I think, probably lined me up for expecting a lot of death.
yeah,
So I kind of was like, yep, here we
yeah,
go.
for sure. My final comment on the film is Hulk is a little pussy not getting out. I know in the comics it said he was scared of Thanos in the comics, but I really wish he wasn't in the film, because I like watching the Hulk on screen. And Ant-Man and Hawkeye. He's one of my favorite.
Hashtag bring back Hawkeye.
He's underrated. I don't know why people give him hate, even though I couldn't remember his name. Hawkeye is one of the best characters. Clint, he's cool. But yes, where are they? Is Ant-Man and the Wasp going to explain a few questions? I think so. I don't know if it's going to answer where the hell Hawkeye is, but
I don't think anything will.
apparently they have big parts in the story. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, apparently.
That, I don't believe, but...
But that's when the directors, the Russo brothers, also said that all the deaths are permanent. So who knows? Who knows? It's Marvel. They put stuff in the trailers that aren't in the movies.
Yeah, that's good marketing.
Who knows? Anyway, wrapping up now. Thanks for coming in today.
My pleasure.
Final question. Next film you're really looking forward to? Putting you on the spot.
Honestly, none. I don't know what's coming out, actually. I honestly can't think of the next film that I'm excited for. I also have stopped watching trailers recently, which might
Really?
be the reason why.
That's pretty good.
Actually, probably Deadpool 2.
Well, funny you should say that, Dan. Because next week, I've got a screening of Deadpool 2, and I'm very excited to tell everyone about it. Maybe I'll get you back for a podcast. How about that?
Maybe. We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. Anyway, guys, that's it for today. Make sure you like and share with your friends, as well as letting us know in the comments what you think of the films we just chatted about. Thanks again, Dan the Man, for being my guest
My pleasure.
in the first ever Real Time with Toby podcast.
Woo! Where's the poppers in the
I don't know.
more champagne?
I'll put the sound effects in.
Cue sound effects.
Cue sound effects, cue outro. Bye, everyone.
Love you.
Go!